extra virgin olive oil from all over the world, there is something for everyone. Vinaigrette, located at 50th and Xerxes in Minneapolis, or at vinaigrettemn.com. The Park Tavern is your go-to destination for fun. Enjoy the fantastic food like their pizzas, burgers, and sandwiches, the best bowling in Minnesota, their wildly popular outdoor patio, great drink specials, all the big games on their numerous screens, and it's the perfect place for your next private event, even large gatherings for over 200. The Park Tavern is your go-to destination for everyone. Have fun at the Park Tavern, Louisiana Avenue, north of Highway 7 in St. Louis Park.
The Electric Fetus is having a pre-inventory store-wide sale now through March 24th. Take 20% off almost everything in the store, including new and used vinyl, CDs and DVDs, Electric Fetus t-shirts, hoodies, and pint glasses, and tons of other great gift items. The store is open 10 to 6 Tuesdays through Saturdays and 11 to 6 on Sundays. It's closed on Mondays. The Electric Fetus is located just south of downtown Minneapolis at 2000 South 4th Avenue. More info at electricfetus.com. That's electricfetus.com. Sale ends Sunday.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Clear tonight with a low of 13, then Saturday cloudy with a high of 32. Cafe Latte is unlike any restaurant you've ever experienced. Grab a tray and pick from their award-winning selections of soups, salads, sandwiches, and mouth-watering desserts. Cafe Latte, Victoria Street and Grand Avenue in St. Paul, or cafelatte.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us, share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story, this is our story. This is Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken.
And this is Ghostbox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakken. Thank you very much for joining me. Happy Friday, everybody. It is Casual Friday here in the show tonight. You know what that means. It means anything can go. Currently, we have planned a special snow edition of Ghostbox Radio. We're going to talk a little bit about the weather in terms of part of the question of the weekend stuff. But I have with me tonight, we got in Adam. We weren't planning on doing a show tonight because I was going to be out in an investigation. But thank you for switching your plans and coming on out here tonight.
I've been married over 20 years. You know I have no plans.
Well, we'll leave it at that.
But the text conversation was actually kind of funny today. It's like, so are you going to go do your investigation? No. Do you want to do a show tonight? I'm always down for Ghostbox. Okay, I'll put out a question of the week. That's how we ended up being live tonight, folks.
It literally is. That really is. If Adam wasn't able to do it, I doubt I'd be here tonight. I don't know about you, Adam. I'm still kind of on a high from Wednesday night show. That was the last time we did a live show, because Thursdays I do Myth or Mystery, which is at 9 p.m. on the Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken Facebook page. But Wednesday was a pretty exciting show. Now, you don't really remember it, do you?
I honestly still haven't heard the show.
Right.
It looked like if the camera was on over here, it would have looked like a rave. All three lines were going all the time between getting readings from Refined Divine and also the Dustin Pari tickets. It was so much fun. I talked to listeners from all over the country, literally.
Right.
2 of them called in for the Dustin tickets and then realized we're in Minnesota and they were not going to be able to make it to the show up here. But that was great. Got a couple callers from Ohio looking for tickets. Fantastic. But
sorry we couldn't help them.
Yeah, no kidding. We don't have tickets to the Ohio showing. That's our bad. We'll try better next time. But
it was our bad. Yes, exactly.
It was so much fun being able to interact with everybody. And again, I still got to go back and listen to the show. So I hope she didn't say anything that I should have dumped, but I think we're good. Chad, I didn't get an email from Chad, so I think we're fine.
and keep talking about it. It surely doesn't bring any more focus on it at all. So that's good.
No, not at all.
Not at all. No, that's good. And I guarantee Chad would have listened. I am pretty sure about that. So just so you know. So yeah, no, it was really cool. Once again, Psychic Medium, Refined Divine. If you didn't get a chance to get your question read, you can tune in April 10th. That's when we're going to have her back on again. We're going to have her on every other week. But if, quite frankly, those are just like hors d'oeuvres to like a 7-course meal. If you actually get a reading from her, I mean, one question readings are fine, but you really want to get more when you ask questions, because everybody wants to know more. And to do that, schedule a reading with Psychic Medium, Refined Divine. It is going to be worth your time to do so. You can also go and get classes, like take part in classes. I mean, she said classes are as low as $10 a piece. If you order, do 10 of them, it's $100. And they do retreats, they do fairs, they do everything else. As always, my friends, please go and go over to their website, refineddivinepsychic.com. And from there, you're going to be able to see everything that she has to offer, as well as the fact that you can schedule to get a reading from her or whatever you need from her. It's well worth it. It was so much fun on Wednesday. So Miss Deb and Dave, thank you very much for that. It's always fun to do that. And it's really cool because it really feels like a radio show. I guess that's the only way I'm really going to say that. So
It's like, when Casey Kasem was doing the top 40 and people would be calling in to cast the vote for their song to be in the top 10 back in the day.
Right.
It kind of felt like that. Everybody was calling in, wanting My Heart Will Go On, or, something like, something to that effect. And it's just like, okay, tally that one. And I saw in the comments too, when I didn't see it. My wife was telling me in the comments, people are like, it went all the way to the voicemail. That's how many rings it took. And folks, we were stacked up and down the lines, and it was fantastic.
That was a lot of fun. That was really cool. So once again, April 10th, she's going to be back on. But if, don't wait, go to refineddivinepsychic.com and get it all situated, get a reading, and then come back April 10th and still ask more questions, because you can never get enough, quite frankly. There's always something to ask, something you want to know. So yeah, that's how that works. That was pretty cool. You know what an atomic clock is?
Yes, I do.
So for those of you who don't know, it's one of those clocks that is they're all kind of like all the clocks, and you could get it online and stuff. And how our station works, it's all in sync. It's like down to the second. So it's the time down to the second. So that the purpose of this is, I bought an atomic clock when I started going weeknights, because I was going to be in sync with the station without having to have another tab open for the NIST U.S. clock, atomic clock site, so I can just see what the time is. I could just, almost be a professional. Let's not go too far, but almost be a professional and be able to see like how much time I have left. This piece of crap has never worked once the entire time I had it at the station for a while. I don't know if you remember seeing it at the station. Used to be over to your right.
Yeah, on top of the little monitor. Yeah.
Yep. And then so I took it home, and now it's according to it is now 9:11 p.m., which is not quite right. The seconds are off at least by 30 seconds. I'm wondering if I run it over with my car, if that will help at all, if that might get it a little bit more in sync. I have not been able to figure out how to get this thing in sync at all. I'm going to take a look again. It looks great. It tells me what the date is, even though I know it. It will also tell me what the day is, but it tells me what the temperature is in here. And I do think that that's about right. And yes, Emily, I think you're missing the point. Emily is like, well, daylight savings time. You're correct. The purpose of this clock is to keep up with all the timing and be in sync down to the second. So it is like, it has to be exact. And that's the purpose of this lovely little device that I have here. I mean, $10. I mean, what do you expect? I guess, right? That's my fault. That's my fault.
Brookstone?
No, I got it through Amazon.
Oh, okay. See, you can only buy paranormal equipment off of Amazon. But the only experience I actually have with an atomic clock is when I worked for Illinois Public Radio. They had it setting on the transmitter, and if you went out to the transmitter site, it was setting there on the transmitter. I don't know why we didn't have it in studio at all, but it was actually at the transmitter site on the North Campus.
Well, and far be it for me to tell you what you are doing for your job, but you are kind of surrounded by atomic clocks.
Yeah,
in the studio,
in a sense,
because Simeon technically is one.
Technically, but at the same time, when you're a smaller Catholic college, none of the clocks worked in there to begin with.
No.
So you're sitting there guessing the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And me being originally from Indiana, moving to Illinois, and when I lived in Indiana, they didn't do daylight savings. They were one of 3 states that didn't change clocks at all. I'm in college. I do the late night, early morning shift. Would you believe how my mind just flipped when it went from 1 a.m. to 1 a.m.? And I'm like, I don't have enough music lined up for this.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, Adam. I don't know. It's telling me the moon phase. I don't even know if that's right. I mean, it just, I'm disappointed in what brand is this garbage anyway? Balder. Oh, now it turned off. There we go. See,
no, it's on. It says 9:14.
Yeah, but the light.
Yeah,
there we go. For God's sake! See, it's trying to test my patience on the air. It won't even let me be on the air without trying to make me angry. This is an evil clock. It needs to be destroyed. I think that some sort of burial procedure, or I set it on fire later. I don't know, but it's kind of yeah.
Perhaps if we go and cleanse it in the clear waters of Lake Minnetonka, it will arise and work.
And the way to subtly submerge it is throwing it out there like a frisbee, and
with
just
a rock tied to it, like you're the Sopranos.
Screaming at it to die. I think that will purge itself of its demonic sort of sensibilities. I don't know.
So basically, you just figured out a way to kill time.
Whoa! Look at that! Look at that! Boy,
dad joke.
So there's this is why Adam gets paid the big bucks. This is.
Be here all weekend, especially if I get snowed in.
yeah, right. You have no choice about that. Speaking of, so all this week, first of all, on my street where I live, therefore I call it my street. Every night there has been cars lined up and down the street every night, like some houses having something going on there. Like if a neighbor has like a graduation party or something, and it's just cars all over. It's been that way all week. Last night, Monday through tonight. What is happening? I'm gonna need to start tracking down the I need to start tracking down the house and find them, and just be like that one neighbor, what are you doing? What are you doing every night that you have so many people here? Because
them have a Ghostbox watch party and you're yelling at them.
Yeah, that'd be about right. I figured that could be the case. I
don't know. Do you guys have any street cleanings or anything going on before this big storm to where they couldn't park on their street or a certain side?
No, we don't follow any of those rules. We don't have anything like that out by me. But yeah, it's bizarre to say the least. We got someone who thinks he's pretty clever in the comments here. Ernie Pack says, I couldn't sleep. Do I knew tuning in here would help, instead of saying so I knew tuning in here would help. He's trying to be He's trying to be funny. He's trying to be like something. And this is what happens, folks, when you try to be funny, but you don't know how to spell. And I suspect read as well. So yeah, that's how that
just
works.
Made me pop.
What did you say, Adam?
He actually just made me pop with that one.
It's a squawk, and it's just Adam. Oh, yeah. Sometimes people just come on in and they just want to crap all over the place and move on. And poor Emily. When is Easter? Is it this weekend?
31st.
We're I mean, and this isn't a rip, Emily, but I mean, I thought I was not self-aware. You are kind of taking the cake on that one. Maybe folks have family over or something. Maybe for 5 nights though. 5 nights you're going to have Easter? I don't think so. I don't know.
They could be like ultra Eastery. Watch all the great Easter movies every night because we know there's a ton of them.
Yeah, with the Robe. They watch the Robe 5 nights a week. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting for sure. So boy, I know.
Now, this isn't the neighbor that knows your name, but you have no idea what his name is it?
Oh, I don't know any of their names on the street. Not one. Not one, except for the one the other side of the one who he was the one that gets so upset because I have dandelions in my yard. I don't pay, $500 a year to get my lawn taken care of. So we get some dandelions. And one time I mowed and some of the dandelions went into his yard. I didn't realize it. I honestly didn't realize it. I come out of my house like a little bit later in the day and they're all lined up on my front step.
Ooh.
And it's like, really? And there's like 5 of them. Oh, it's like, all right, well, that's let's just do that. So yeah, it's just so funny. It's like, wow. I mean, I don't care about my lawn. Let's just be very honest. I mean, I don't want it to be overrun. I want it to be mowed and stuff. If it looks green to me, that's good enough.
Yep, same here. Plus, I got a beagle, so my yard looks like crap.
Well, yeah. I used to have the old neighbor on the other side. They had a dog that would just turn the backyard into just a toilet. My backyard was just a toilet. And she comes over to me one day. She's just like really high, which is fine, whatever. But she comes over. She goes, "Hey." I'm like, "Hi." And she's like, "I think my dog has been, the word all over your yard." Yeah, they have. I've been watching. Oh, okay. Do you want me to clean that up? I do, as it happens. I really do. That would be fantastic. Okay. And then eventually. But she did it. She did it.
I was gonna figure she went back home and forgot.
She just went back.
Oh man, I was just talking to the dude next door about something. Man. Oh, Smurfs.
So you were high too, is what you're saying.
Not currently.
Hey. You ever wonder why the Smurfs are blue?
And why does Gargamel wear like a monk outfit?
And he's no monk.
But yet his cat is named after a demon.
What's his cat's name again? It's been
Azrael.
Okay, because I mean I'm an adult, so I don't really pay attention to the Smurfs, but I'm glad that some of you do. That's cool.
Hey, I'm a Gen Xer, so pop culture is my culture.
Oh my god. Wait a minute. What are you saying about me? I'm a Gen Xer too.
Yeah, but every time I talk to you, believe me, you are Gen X, and you definitely get into the pop culture. But you are so sub pop culture when it comes to that. I mean, you honestly deserve a gold medal for some of the references, and especially the British TV shows that you just can pop a line from, or talk knowingly about, that probably only 2% of the folks in the United States had ever actually heard of.
Right. No.
So yeah, you're there. Trust me.
I'm that's just on the other, that's on the other side of the moon sort of thing going on there. We got some people talking in the comments. They're always complimentary, as you'll be able to see. And then we're good. Why don't we go ahead, take our break? But before we do so, I just want to say our question of the week is: with winter weather that is projected for this weekend in Minnesota and around the Midwest, actually too, do you think the media is over the top with the predictions and warnings when it comes to snowstorms, or do you feel it's justified? I'm very curious what people are thinking about it. We got that lined up in our Facebook feed as well. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we'll get to question of the week or anything on your mind. You're listening to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with metamorphosisconnections.com. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search metamorphosisconnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on metamorphosisconnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting metamorphosisconnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's metamorphosisconnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
Greg Bakken here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
We are back and bigger than ever, baby. You're invited to Stephanie Miller's Sexy Liberal Save the World Tour. It's the comedy event of the year, and it's coming to a city near you. Join Stephanie with Sexy Liberals, Hal Sparks, John Fugelsang, and comedy duo Frangela for a hilarious ride as they heroically deconstruct the unfolding events of 2024 with an up-to-the-minute, side-splitting evening of comedy. Get your tickets now. Live at the Pantages in Minneapolis, April 13th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Feeling like people just don't get the vibrant rainbow unicorn that is your celestial essence? Have you been wondering how you stepped into this infernal, mundane timeline full of muggles, NPCs, and toilet paper shortages? Here at Magus Books and Herbs, we get you, and are staffed with real-life unicorns just waiting to help you rediscover your shine. So come explore your magical side with books, herbs, incense classes, and more at 1848 Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis or online at magusbooks.com.
And welcome back to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950. My name is Greg Bakken. We have Adam with us tonight, and we are doing Casual Friday. So that means that kind of anything goes, which I think is going to come and haunt me here in a second. Let's see here. A couple things from the comments here. Courtney says that Smurfs are awesome. And I believe that they are. There's billions of them, aren't there? Yeah. Let's see here. Denise says that Greg is an 80-year-old man because of I don't know what, but still younger than Ernie. So there is that as well. Let's see. Danielle says that this is coming from the man who talks about orange pendak.
Yeah, I do talk about the O-ring pendak a lot. That's my favorite cryptid.
Oh, sorry, I misread it. I said orange pendak. It was like, yeah, okay. All right, there. And then we have
that guy. He's weird.
He's a weirdo. Shar says, hey, from Kyle, Lisa, Ashley, AJ, Nicole, and Shar. That's the investigation I was supposed to be on tonight. We'll talk about that in a second here. And Ernie says, as a Gen X professional, I think the description word for Greg's knowledge of the obscure is nerd. Ernie, I'm not sure if you've been a professional at anything ever. So we got that. Once again, it's Casual Friday. We're going to get to question of the week here in a second, but if you have anything you want to say, put it into the comments, as well as you can call in 952-946-6205. That's where we're going to right now. We have, this is really good. We have a anonymous call on line one. Hello there. Welcome to Ghostbox Radio.
Hi, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing just peachy. We heard you were supposed to be at the Anderson house tonight, and you just couldn't make it, and we're wondering why the heck you didn't show up, because we all miss you here.
Oh, you guys are going to be just fine out there, and that's a really good question. So, folks, I'm supposed to be out at the Anderson house in Wabasha, but because I have an unreasonable fear, quite very frankly, of being out when there's winter storms. There isn't anything at the moment, but we have some big stuff coming in the area of southern Minnesota, as well as the Twin Cities, starting Sunday and Monday. This all goes back to a time that I was in a pretty bad car accident during a blizzard, and because I lost control of my car and I swung and I hit a bunch of cars, and that's kind of like screwed me up now forever. It's like, even when it's like snow showers, I could feel it. I could feel the anxiety. I get this unreasonable feeling that I'm sliding off the road when I start, even with my 4-wheel drive SUV. It is unreasonable, but it's one of those things that, it's as silly as it sounds, it's not going to be a 3-hour journey down, 3.5-hour journey from where I am, where I'm gonna shake that. You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen over there. How's it going out there at the Anderson house?
It's going pretty good, Greg. This is Lisa. I'm with Char, Kyle, Ashley, Nikki, and AJ. Yeah, we're out in the lobby. We just came from the sauna. All 6 of us fit in the little sauna, and did a Ghostbox. Fully clothed. Yes, fully clothed. We did a Ghostbox session. Since we're here in Wabasha, we decided to try and reach out to Jack Lemmon and Walter Massow.
Oh, okay. Because obviously, being in Wabasha, there is that connection to Grumpy Old Men shot all over that area. What happened with that? How did that go?
I will hand it over to Kyle.
Okay.
Oh, well, Jack,
are you still wearing a dress?
Jack came, oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Hopefully that didn't make it on your show.
But it's going to make it on my social media channels. Anyway, you were saying?
Well, I just want to say about
this is how you diffuse somebody.
AJ was sad that my dress was prettier than his. So
you both look great.
Oh, thank you. No, we believe Jack came through. He said a few things to us, and then Lisa asked if Burgess Meredith was around, and we got Burgess right after that. So
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
What really neat.
What box were you using?
Pro.
Were you? Like I was using
Yeah.
I was using the Pro. That's what I do.
It was the Pro.
I love it.
It was Pro.
I love it.
You know, the PSP7 Pro from creator Gary Golka.
That's right. That's right. Oh, that is awesome. That is really good to hear. Shar had asked if I wanted to join in after the show tonight. I think if you're all up for it, I'd prefer to maybe try to do a remote Spirit Box session tomorrow night, if that works for you all. If you're all sticking around, I don't know. I really don't know how the weather's going to be, what time the snow is supposed to start and stuff as well.
Well, if we know that we've got a celebrity like you calling in, I think we'll stick around and wait it out.
Right. That's here. I got some homework for you, Kyle. When you get off the phone, look up the word celebrity. I think you don't understand what that word means. So you got
using that word correctly.
Yeah, it's like, no, I think you're looking for enemy, aren't you? No, I'm just kidding. Or buffoon, is that really what it is? No, you guys, I treasure all of you. Thank you so very much for calling in, and I miss you all very much tonight.
All right, have fun. We'll talk to you tomorrow, I guess. Absolutely.
That sounds good. That sounds good, everyone. Take care, stay safe. So all righty. That's the crew over at the Anderson house, where I was supposed to be tonight. But like I said, I am too, even for me, Adam, even when it comes down to like being a passenger, I can't. I just get, and then about 5 years ago, John Marson, Chris Marson, and myself, we took a trip right before my birthday, which is in January, and that's the next day as John's. We went out to the Calumet in Pipestone, which is another like 3.5, 4 hours away from us. And there was another blizzard, and we drove through, and John was just this like stone of like this rock of driving. He just was perfect. But it was still so scary because we couldn't see anything in front of us. Only thing we know would be it's a 2-lane highway, and the other side would be semis coming.
Mm.
And it was just too much. It was just too much. And we got there, and once again, John kept us alive, quite frankly. But then when we could see in front of us, there was a car right in front of us. We had no idea that they were even there. That's messed up.
Yeah, it is. Now, I don't drive. My vision's terrible, but even as a passenger, the little handle that's above the passenger side door.
Yeah.
Different terminologies for different regions. Mine was the OS handle. Growing up, and I will even to this day, and I've lived in Minnesota now well over 20 years and ride with some very safe individuals, but I will still have my hand on that to this day when it's nasty out.
Do you remember about 2 months ago, I after the show one night, I drove you back home, but it was like kind of a sleet.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you could feel my energy of just being like, because neither of us really talked on that drive back.
Exactly.
And I just can't. I can't. And as it was, I actually, when I dropped you off, I had to miss one of the exits to get back onto 494 because I realized I was driving too fast. I knew if I stopped, I was probably going to go over, because it's so slippery out. I was going to go over to like where, you go off of the ramp, the exit ramp, and you kind of get into the grassy stuff. So I had to I kind of had to change course at the last minute. There are people who know very well how to drive in this stuff. I am not one of them.
Yeah. And there are individuals who can't drive in the rain, but can drive in the snow like the pavement is dry. It's crazy what different people can do behind that wheel. And then there are some who are professionals that go around in circles all day and make millions of dollars.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's just it. And I applaud all those people that can do it. In the comments section, let's see here. Denise says, I thought you were going to talk about your fear of melted ice cream. I can. I mean, if we are really going to not have an interesting show, we can do that. But folks, that is a real thing.
Melted ice cream is nothing more than a milkshake in a cone.
When it's like on a plate and it's just like these puddles of gross.
And you pick up the plate and you go, gut, gut, gut. But I'm lactose intolerant. So I can't have the ice cream anyways.
What's wrong with you? Let's see here. Molly says, I respect for inclement weather. I appreciate that. Well, at the very least, I'm not going to do anything where knowing that I am going to hazard to everyone around me that I'm going to be out there driving around. Let's see here. Ernie says that you need a comfortable ride in the back seat of our van. Ernie, as you may have heard, when we don't have anyone else to bring on the show and we bring them on at the very last minute because there literally is no one else to bring on. And that's asking like animals if they want to come on. We went out to out to Kentucky and where he is, and they drove us around very nicely and stuff, but he has this way of driving over all the potholes and the railroad tracks in the city. And poor Shar, who is sitting in the back seat, I think she ended up I think she has rods in her neck because of all the neck damage, her head hitting the top of the van. It's just, it's kind of
I was going to ask, because it's Ernie, when he's like, get in the back of his van, does he have a sling on and he's trying to push a couch in there by himself? He's Buffalo Bill. What do we got going on?
I don't know. It's but when we went out squatching, we needed the van. We definitely needed the van.
Yes, Sasquatch is huge. You're not going to tie him to a sedan.
Well, we didn't capture one. I don't. Wow. Not that I can publicly say. No, but there was a bunch of us in the van. So, but poor Shar, she's just like, she's like, I'm a little bit shorter. I can sit in the back there. And then you could just hear this boom, boom, boom. And it was her head hitting the top of the vehicle. I mean, we had to bring her to every time we reached our destination. Like, we're here now. Are you still alive? And sometimes it took a little bit longer. But
got the old smelling salts out, like you said.
Even the smelling salts don't work this time. Emily says, I pretty much only like ice cream when it's soup. Seriously. Have you ever heard a man throw up on radio before? I don't know. Just, we all have our unreasonable thing. Maybe how about that for next week? That'll be our question for next week. What unreasonable, what is it that it's unreasonable that everyone else is fine with, that is like a real like phobia, like phobia of, like, I don't know, atomic clocks. I don't know.
I could see that. Yeah, because there are things that everyone else will do. Like, for example, I know everybody does the Venmo app.
Yeah.
To transfer money. I worked in network securities for 10 years and I understand all those flaws. I will not touch any of those money moving apps. So that to me is a fear, even though banks these days, they're like, oh, you got ripped off. Okay, here, we'll refund your cash. But more along the lines of, I know those flaws. I'm not playing with it. Well,
and that's just it. I mean, it's not only is it that, it's, which is a huge part of it. It's also all the stuff that, people play on Facebook, like, what kind of potato chip am I? And, stuff like that. And it's just like, okay, meanwhile, some other country or some other organization is getting all of your personal information. But at least, you're Pringle now.
Okay, and I used to be that way until we were coming back from the Bahamas. So, you know how folks will do take a picture of themselves and here's what my animated avatar will look like?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't want any facial recognition stuff on my phone. I don't need that. When you're coming back into port from the Bahamas, instead of handing them your passport, they just take a camera and do a facial recognition and they let you go. I'm like, well, I guess I'll start playing on Facebook now. It's already out there, apparently.
Well, and that's just it too. It's like, and the last time I've gone overseas, it's been a while because we didn't do that. It'd be interesting to see if that's how it is everywhere now, or did you talk to somebody who's not really official and now they have all your information?
Oh, they were plenty official because I was thinking when they go, do you have anything to declare? And I was going to come up with a smart aleck comment. It's like, probably not a good idea.
Oh, no. No.
I don't need to be searched.
No. Those are the times we don't play the games, right? I mean, I'm a very sarcastic individual, but those are the times that I'm just like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yes.
Because I was wanting to go all Blanche Devereaux. Oh, I do, from Golden Girls. But it's like,
sure,
not a good idea.
I know you've always been looking for an excuse to do that. So,
I have.
Yeah,
don't badmouth the Golden Girls.
You know that there's new episodes of the Golden Girls with a new cast, right? I just realized this. I just found this out.
Okay, let's quit rebooting things.
Right? This is
people original scripts.
This is Tina Fey, Amy Poehler. I forget who else is on it. Is it Disney Plus that's running it? I'm a big Golden Girls fan. I actually really do like the series. I'm not one of those people like, oh, it's gonna be horrible because it's not them. It's just like, I'm not interested. I have 7 seasons. I haven't seen all of them.
But you mentioned Tina Fey, and she is a comedic genius. So now I'm a little bit interested.
Well, there you go. Well, then you'll have to watch it and let me know how it goes. Why don't we let's take our break. We'll get back to question of the week. Unless people have more to talk about, we don't have to do question of the week either, but it's there if we want it. I see people are excited to hear about the Golden Girls in chat. Whatever is on your mind, call in or whatever. You're listening to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950.
If you own a holistic or metaphysical business and are looking to expand, then you need to be listed on metamorphosisconnections.com. It's a network where you can grow with like-minded practitioners and reach new clients. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory you need to list yourself and your business. Our platform makes it easy for you to create listings of your products and services, and you can also choose to list your classes, events, and so much more. Metamorphosisconnections.com helps you create weekly and monthly promotional ads targeted towards your potential clients and promotes them for you via social media and newsletter. There are clients searching for your specialty right now. Let us help them find you. Start your listing today so you can share your own unique gifts and talents by finding the level of membership that best fits your needs. Let us help you reach your clients that are searching for what you do. Visit metamorphosisconnections.com and sign up today.
Greg Bakken here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com.
Hi, this is Frank Brown, owner of Minuteman Press Uptown, Minnesota's only minority-owned union printing company. And I have big news. We've moved. Our new building in North Minneapolis is much larger with state-of-the-art equipment. That means we can get your projects done faster. We're on Washington Avenue North off I-94 at the Dowling exit, which allows for quick pickup and drop-off with plenty of free parking. And yes, we still print everything. I moved to MP Uptown because as a Black business owner, I want to be in North Minneapolis and help provide jobs. At MP Uptown, we pay above living wages, hire people who have made mistakes in the past, and believe in social justice. We have over 175 Google reviews with a 5-star rating. Let us handle your next print project because when you support our business, you support the community. Call 612-870-0777 or visit mpuptown.com. That's mpuptown.com. We print everything.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Clear tonight with a low of 13, then Saturday cloudy with a high of 32. Stephanie Miller's sexy liberal comedy tour is coming to the Pantages Theater in Minneapolis Saturday night, April 13th. Stephanie's coming with all her friends, including John Fugelsang, Hal Sparks, and Frangela. Find ticket information at am950radio.com.
And join us Monday, March 25th at 10:05 p.m. for Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken. Our special guest that night is Dustin Perry from Ghost Hunters as he talks about his upcoming live show at the Fitzgerald Theater on April 3rd. You can get tickets for the show itself at ghostsdoyoubelieve.com. We gave away tickets on Wednesday. Those went really fast. And we don't have any more tickets to give away, sadly. But if you're unfamiliar with the show is called Dustin Perry, Ghost Do You Believe? And once again, I said that's April 3rd. That's Wednesday, April 3rd. Adam and I are going to be out there, not part of the show, but watching it. The show itself is about prepare for an extraordinary live show hosted by paranormal investigator Dustin Perry of Ghost Hunters, where the boundaries of reality and the supernatural blur. Join us as we dive deep into the world's most riveting paranormal evidence and share perplexing ghost stories that defy explanation. Brace yourself for an interactive journey through haunted encounters, mind-boggling phenomena, and first-hand accounts that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. This spine-tingling adventure is not to be missed. Join us as we unlock the mysteries that haunt us all. Once again, ghostsdoyoubelieve.com. That's April 3rd at the Fitzgerald Theater. But we have Dustin on Monday. That's really exciting. That was really cool. And we got him because we were able to work with his people, the Fitzgerald Theater, First Avenue, everyone. That was really cool to be able to do that, Adam. I really enjoyed that.
There's some lovely people, and I cannot wait because there was the time he spent with Ghost Hunters International. Would love to hear some of the experiences that took place over in Europe and in South America where they went. Because, ghosts are everywhere. Spirits are everywhere, but I would love to hear his take on how different cultures deal with the paranormal.
Absolutely. There's a lot to unpack there, and he's just really nice. It's really cool, and I'm looking forward to his show as well. That's going to be great. So join us on Monday for that. Question of the week: with the winter weather that is projected for this weekend, do you think the media is over the top with their predictions and warnings when it comes to snowstorms, or do you feel it is justified? And I ask the question because, this is all it takes for them is to tell me what's coming up, and I make that decision that this is not what I want to do. Like I've canceled big plans that have been on the books for months, So I'm curious what other people thought about it. Suzanne, going to the Facebook page, she says, I don't believe it till it happens. Sarah says, yes, I think the media typically presents a worst case scenario. And when you say it like that, Sarah, I feel like that's a better way of making it sound like that, it's like they're doing their duty. It's not being like over the top. Like it's almost like it's better to do it the worst case than underdo it. But I also feel like, in my opinion, that there is a little bit more there's a little bit more sensationalism that's attached to this sometimes, especially in these states that have lots of snow. My sister Tracy says, I like Minnesota Weather Guy on Facebook. I've never heard of him. He's been the most accurate over the years, and he's not a weatherman. Okay. Rose says, winter activities. What state are you in? That's a funny question, because it's like, because she's actually asking, like, what state are you in? Well, let's see here. Just click on you're a friend of mine on Facebook. Just click on it. It says where I'm at. So I had to help her out with that. And then once I said it, she goes, oh, okay, that makes sense. Bridget says, while I think that being overly cautious can be a good thing, the over-exaggeration can be bad. I spent roughly 30 years of my life living an hour south of Chicago, and my husband was born and raised in Duluth, Minnesota. He was teaching in Chicago when we met. We currently live in Louisville. I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding. You've never met Ernie. Moved here in October of 2011. I'm still waiting for the 4 feet of snow from like 6 years ago. She's like, I should note that we're trying to sell our house to move to Minnesota. Jim misses home, and I don't like living here anymore. I guess they did meet Ernie.
Yeah, they must have.
Well, he's an acquired taste.
No longer part of the Kentucky Welcoming Committee.
Right. Let's see. Jim says, I'd say vague is the word. 1 to 10, quite the range.
Well, it's like we were talking off air. I was looking for the year that Al Roker was literally 3 feet off on a forecast.
That's right. You did say that.
Yeah, he was telling the city of New York and the East Coast it's just going to be a dusting. And then they got hit by like 3 feet of snow overnight. And I was looking for the year. I want to say it was like 2014. So it was about 10 years ago when that happened. Maybe a little bit longer. But it's like, yeah, to me, in that case, it's like, let's not forecast on the low end.
Well, and yeah, absolutely. Well, and the thing is, too, is Al Roker is not a weatherman. I mean, he's a weatherman. He's not a meteorologist.
Right. There's a big difference.
There's a huge difference to that. Molly says, I don't watch local news anymore, only international, typically NBC, and have to say that, yes, it's a bit over sensationalized. I was prepared today for a March snowstorm and only shoveled 3 inches. Though I think it was always kind of understood that it was like a 2 to 5 inch here in the cities, right? But it's Sunday, and I'm going to be really annoyed if Sunday comes and, I mean, okay, I got to be careful here. I don't want a lot of snow to fall on Sunday because we have some wonderful loved ones that are down south that need to travel back up here. So we don't want any snow. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to put off my life because of this. And, just like, oh, well, I could have gone and I was just being silly about it. But I'd much rather have no snow so that our friends have safe travels. You got to be careful there.
And I'm just kind of hoping that the rain in Iowa stays around a little bit longer. That warm air mass that was in Iowa sticks around a little bit longer so that it's more rain than snow in southern Minnesota and the metropolitan area. But it all depends on what that little high pressure bubble in south of Iowa that was moving north decides to do. I watch a lot of Weather Channel.
Christ, I didn't realize I had Paul Douglas in studio with me.
Sorry.
No, it's good. I have you ever met Paul Douglas?
Once. He seemed like a cool dude. But...
So I got to tell my Paul Douglas story. So we're not going to get to all of winter weather this week. But when I was at Brown Institute, right? Mm-hmm. And I was doing my schooling for radio back in 93, 94. We had a big project that we needed to do. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if I could get like a on-camera interview with Paul Douglas? At that time, he was at KARE 11, and he, the weather the backyard weather area, all that stuff. I mean, he created all of that. So I'm no good at another one. I'm no good on the phone. I don't like calling people. I don't like the snow. I don't like ice cream. I don't like calling people. And I really, so I mean, it's like you wonder how I function as a human.
But if you're a ghost, he loves you.
Yeah, exactly. If you're a ghost, you're in. But so I literally spend all day getting up the courage to call Care 11 to call Paul Douglas.
Yeah.
All day. I'm just like, okay, I'll do it. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to do it. Let's do this. I'm ready to do this, And finally I call. And I call the main number and I said, can I speak to Paul Douglas, please? I thought that they're going to be like, because he's Paul Douglas. There has to be people in between the receptionist and Paul Douglas, right? Because he's a media person. And so they're like, yeah, we'll send you right through. Next thing I hear, Paul Douglas here. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I'm just like, I'm standing like, and so I do the whole spiel about what I would like to do with him.
Yeah.
And he's just like, can you call me back? Cause I'm about to go on the air. And I look at the clock cause I didn't look at it. It's like 5:05.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, they're in the news.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why did they put me through to him? Why aren't there people like in place to stop people like me to talk to him? Basically, it's just like, oh my goodness, I'm so, I'm like, I'm so sorry, my teenage self, and I never called him back. I was just like, no.
And he's right, like, some kid's trying to get a hold of me to do an interview. I want to, but I got to talk about this severe weather.
Well, I wouldn't go as far as saying he'd want to. I think that he was just like, you could tell in his voice, like, I'm about to go on the air here. Like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. I don't know. And I put on the phone and I just like stare at it for the next half an hour. Like, I've ruined his show, So, and no different than when we went to KSTP and Dave Dahl. We went with a couple people, and Dave Dahl actually showed my friend Tom and I around because Tom's dad knew Dave Dahl. Dave Dahl, also really nice guy, but there was another school there getting a tour, and some kid touches a button on the keyboard, and the whole map, just like all the temperatures and everything, just disappeared off of it. What? I mean, what? So anyway, yeah. So and is it coincidence that I was there for that? Am I like some kind of anti-weather sort of like keep me away from the weather offices and stuff? Everyone apparently knows Dave. He plays tennis with my uncle, says Emily. Everyone seems to know Dave Dahl. So
he seems like a cool dude too. I
really
like
cool.
his forecast. I also am a big fan of Sven Sundgaard. I love his forecast too. He's usually pretty accurate.
Sven is really good. Yeah, I thought about seeing if I could get Sven on to talk about severe weather, because we're going to do that at some point. We're going to talk about severe weather because it's that time of year.
Yeah,
April it becomes Tornado Awareness Month, so
we should try to get the folks from Twisters, the new movie, the sequel to Twister coming out, and talk to them about and tie that in. Try to get some tickets to give away to that.
Well, I'm certainly going to try to get some tickets for that for us. About getting them on. I mean, they're actors, Adam. I don't know if you knew that. They don't know about the weather, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure they know something.
But some people actually learn about their fields when they go into act. They may have some method actors on there who, will actually try to learn some of this stuff, and that would be kind of neat to talk to.
Well, I'm sure you're right. I'm sure that they're going to know something, but they're, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be very impressed with how much they know.
They'd probably know more than me and my buddy when we were 16 and saw Twister and went out and tried to chase him ourselves. So,
I think that's a sort of a kind of a, I don't know, a very much parallel to people who watch paranormal TV shows. They see it and they're like, oh, I could do that now, and then,
that would explain some of them that are on.
That explains a lot of them that are on. Yeah, absolutely. Especially on YouTube.
Did I say that out loud? I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Zach had them all canceled. So there's only really one. So he got them all canceled, and now basically it's just, and now they signed him for 3 more years. Did you see that?
No, I don't follow any of him.
Well, start, because Ghost Adventures now are going to run through 2027. So
hopefully it gets better, if that's going to be the only one.
Is that what we think is going to happen? Because I'm not too sure. I mean, it's been the same for about 15 years. So,
but then again, I'm the guy who the first paranormal show I saw was Most Haunted, so I can't really say a whole lot.
Well, I mean, I think when you're looking at for something a little bit more accurate, and mine is My Ghost Story, which is still my favorite.
I do like that.
That's a good one. But you're looking at something that is it's not sensationalized, just like the weather. So that's all we have to say about that. And you never know. You never know really what's, and if you don't know the field, you don't know how sensationalized it is, unfortunately. So.
And even if you just run the board for a show, you realize how sensationalized it gets. And then you start following people around who know what they're doing, Greg and Char. And then you actually learn how to do it, what to look for, and that everything isn't a demon.
No.
Just me.
Not at all. Now, as we wrap up the week, don't forget on Monday, we're going to have on Dustin Perry from Ghost Hunters talking about his live show at the Fitzgerald Theater, April 3rd. Please make sure to visit ghostboxradio.com to find past episodes of our radio show, and like us over at Facebook at Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken. Also send any comments or feedback to comments@ghostboxradio.com. Don't forget to check out the best of Ghostbox Radio, airing Saturdays at 8 and Sundays at 4 p.m. on AM 950. And finally, whether you're chasing spirits or just drinking them tonight, please be careful out there. Drive safely.
It's Matt McNeil. Listen to the Matt McNeil
Monday.
3 until AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.